Well, welcome everybody to Nikken Brand Night. This is the opportunity where we go through Nikken products and uh, and kind of tell some stories and do some presentations as to why so many of us are advocates and users of the Nikken brand. And joining me this evening is my co-host Heather Abbott and my life partner as well. And so I'm going to introduce our speaker for this evening, and she is Randy Rolfe. Randy and I have been friends for 20 plus years, maybe 25. So, and frequently have shared the stage together at different Nikken events. She is a wealth of knowledge. She is an attorney as well as a nutritionist, a best-selling author, and I don't know how many books you have now. I think probably a dozen or more. I don't know, but you can let us know if you wish. So with that, I'm going to pass the ball off to Randy, and she's going to talk about our Kenzen nutritional supplements.
Well, thank you, Gary and Heather. It's a delight to, we don't, who's counting, but yes, we've been friends a long time and Nikken brought us together, which is one of the great benefits of Nikken. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint here. And I'm going to start with Roger Drummer, who herbalist and nutritionist. He contributed a lot to Nikken, did some of the formulations, and was at many events to help educate us all. And we have lost him on this planet. And I just wanted to mention his wonderful work and his great personality, always smiling and thinking the best of everybody.
And his contributions, Randy. And I might mention right now, oh, yeah, I was going to ask you to start the show. There you go. Thanks. Sorry.
Yes, yes, a huge contributions. And so now I'm going to tell you my story and why Nikken was such an important thing to us. I started as a lawyer, as he mentioned, and this is the building I worked in on the 18th floor with a corporate law firm in Philadelphia. And I knew it wasn't my whole life, but I really wanted to know the structure of society and how things worked financially and corporately, and what an education that was. Meanwhile, we'd visited my great uncle and aunt, Scott and Helen Nearing, and they were known for their simple living and social justice advocacy. And he had this famous organic gardening program that he went all year, and he wrote many more books than I did. So I'm still working at it. We also toured his greenhouse. Now he had a little greenhouse so that he was in Maine and he had vegetables and fruits all year round and another acre for open air. And so that's his little greenhouse. And we were so inspired and tired of being lawyers in Philadelphia. We bought this old broken down farmhouse, 100 years old, rebuilt it, and became homesteaders, heated with wood, had our own vegetable garden. And we also learned about the effects of energy fields because the Indians and farmers around us were fighting this ultra high powered and energy field high rise things that were going to go across the land. And so, as lawyers, we contributed our time to do that. And we learned a lot about it. We also had Indian midwife for our children. And so, we learned about the ancient ideas of being in harmony with nature. So when we just ran out of money up there homesteading, we came back to Philadelphia and I started teaching and writing about parenting and nutrition. Then we discovered Nikken, and what a discovery. We realized that Nikken, you didn't have to go live in the woods to live naturally. Nikken had a wellness home that was like a greenhouse for humans. Clean air, pure water, comfortable sleep, earth energy, and whole foods. And in our house up there, we had no concrete slab or basement. We had a dirt basement. So we were not protected from the magnetic field of the earth. And so we never got tired. We did so much work every day on our house. And then when guests came, they said, "Why don't I get tired? You're putting us to work on your house and we're not getting tired. We're sleeping like babies." Later on, we realized it was because there was nothing blocking the magnetic energy of the earth. So when we saw Nikken with these products to bring this kind of energy into our regular suburban homes, we were all over it. And I looked into their nutritional line, and it was second to none. So I'm going to give you some deep background about what's going on with our nutrition before I give you a survey of what Nikken offers, which is the best thing on the market, in my opinion. The dietary guidelines recommend 85% of calories should come from healthy foods. They still imply, oh, 15% is okay because that's the fun foods. Well, no, good foods are fun foods. Meanwhile, 58% of the adult diet is now ultra processed foods. And for kids, it's 67%. So that's 2/3 of their diet. It's really frightening. Sugar is one of the biggest problems. The American Heart Association and the guidelines suggest 9 teaspoons of sugar a day for men, 6 teaspoons for women. I don't think you can even be healthy on that. But the CDC says that the average consumption is 17 teaspoons a day. And one 12-ounce soda already overdoes it for a man, 10 teaspoons of sugar. And it's ruining us, ruining our liver and everything else. So this is one of my favorite studies. It included several 100,000 of people over the course of 25 to 30 years. And what they found out was if they did 5 lifestyle things, they increased their chances of 10 to 14 years of life free of chronic disease. Now that's huge, and that's what we're after with nutrition. In fact, in the last couple of years, our lifestyle has led to a decrease in our longevity in the United States. And the 5 things are pretty simple. It's not smoking, moderate alcohol intake, which is 2 glasses of something for men and 1 glass for women on average a day, and no binging on weekends. And a half hour of vigorous exercise. It doesn't mean you have to go lift weights, even brisk walking made the difference. And having moderate weight. And again, it wasn't, you didn't have to be skinny. 170 for a man or 140 for a woman was within the range to get that extra 10 years without chronic disease. And the final one was being in the top 40% of nutrition quality. That's not hard either. If half of our nutrition is ultra processed foods, being in the top 40% should not be hard at all. So that was a really important study, and I loved quoting it. So why do we supplement? Well, even if you're eating an ideal diet, the soils are depleted. And when they transform to grow organic foods, they really have to try to re-nourish the soils, because when we drive across the country, we go across dead fields. If they haven't planted something, nothing grows. That's dead soil. And so we're monocropping everywhere in this country, and their soils are depleted. Also, food processing, when we make sugar and flour and oils and vegetable proteins, we're removing the fiber and the vitamins and the minerals. They find the typical diet doesn't always even get to the recommended dietary government recommendations, and those are designed for a normal, healthy adult. And we know that most adults in America have chronic disease of some kind. We also have sedentary lifestyles, but we still need the vitamins and minerals. We just don't need all the calories. Also, we all have individual needs. Also, in modern life, we're exposed to toxins that are completely alien to the body. Also, if we're taking any kind of medications, they affect the body, and we may need to increase our intake of micronutrients. And chronic stress in modern life. Everybody talks about that. The supplements help with that. And if you have any digestive problems, which half of adults have some kind of digestive incident, almost every month, which is scary. And then just assurance to make sure we're getting everything. And if you're eating natural supplements that are balanced, then you're not ever going to get too much. So what should you look for in your supplements? First of all, important, good processing. Sometimes it says 10 grams on the label, but the particular capsule you took has only 6 because they didn't mix it well. Also, like I said, balanced in physiological quantities, not megadosing vitamin 2 so that vitamin B2 so that you need more of B1. Synergy, you want things that are composed to synergize together. If you have a bunch of herbs together, you want them to work together. Clear labeling, that's really important, especially on your online. You want to know what's in the capsule. Priced competitively, organic based, really important. You don't want GMOs, hormones, antibiotics, pesticides, herbicides, endocrine disruptors, heavy metals, or irradiation. You want it based on serious research and cultural traditions around the world, because people over thousands of years have figured out what herbs work well for different problems or to balance. Addressing body processes, supporting the body, not just addressing symptoms, and supporting the gut, the healthy bacteria in our bodies that work synergistically with all our other systems. And then sensitive to personal preferences. So if you want to avoid things that aren't vegan, or that have gluten, or that aren't kosher, you don't want grains, and you want organic. So luckily, Nikken does all of those things. Nikken, I just realized when I looked into it that they based on solid research, synergistic, worked on traditions from all over the world, and constantly gathering new information. We have new products, new evolutions of old products, because they figure out more all the time. And nature is the key to maintaining good health. And the ideal for mind and body health is whole foods. So you get all those nutrients, foods as close to nature as possible, support health best, and organic is best because you avoid all the chemicals. And healthy things that are grown organically are likely to be more healthy because they obviously have to be resistant on their own to diseases and pests. So I love this picture of showing all the body systems, and Nikken's really focused on supporting the body systems. So there's the skin and the breathing and the bones and the blood and the digestion and the muscle and the spine. There's also the immune system, lymph system, and the hormone system. So we have an abundance and a redundance in the body to stay healthy. We're meant to stay healthy. But if we don't feed our bodies right, it doesn't work. This is a wonderful diagram that Mary Bowser put together to show all of how all the Nikken supplements serve these systems, the gastrointestinal, the nervous, the cardiovascular, all the core, muscular, and immune system. So I'm going to go through them really quickly. This is my favorite because if whatever you're eating, if you don't digest it well, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. So Nikken, I think, has the best digestion supplement on the market. It is no sources from animals, 20 different natural digestive aids for all 4 major food groups. That's why it's called 420. And it encourages digestion and absorption. And also none of those things you don't want. Then lactoferrin also builds the digestion and builds the blood that takes the nutrition to all the organs. And it's compounded so that it works synergistically with these herbs and is really designed to support healthy gut bacteria. And again, nothing you don't want. Jade green zymes, same thing. It is the healthiest vegetable on the planet, organically grown and harvested at the peak of enzyme activity. So it really supports the gut. And it's a proprietary blend with other things to balance it, make it work best, and cold pressed, which is great, and all those other good things. Super Siaga is the best from the fruit world, and it has the highest auric value of any drink out there, and it includes all of these good berries that are known in many traditions to support health. And it's called Siaga because it supports all these systems: cardiovascular, immunity, antioxidant, gastrointestinal, and adaptogenic for stress. So, and it tastes fabulous too. Then we have cleanse and detox. And I mentioned environmental toxins, they're everywhere. And there's a new big article about we're getting all these toxins from our packaging. And for the cooking and the shrink wrap and all of that, we're getting endocrine disruptors just from buying food. That's why I talk about single ingredient diets. Buy things that don't have packages. So this works with 6 herbs that are known around the world to really help the liver detoxify the body and keep all the cells healthy. So, and it helps move out when you're losing weight, helps move out the toxins that are being released by the fat. Then we have the daily 4. These are not your average daily. You need 4 of them to get what you really need to support your body for the multivitamins and minerals that are recommended for the RDAs. And one is for women with special things for their system, and one for men for their special system. So, and time lapsed so that it works. Take it in the morning, it works all day. Then we have Vital Balance. There's a new version of this coming out, but it's absolutely an astonishing, the finest powder out there. I'm totally convinced. There's nothing that you don't want. Has all the RDAs for a third of your day. And protein sources are the best: pea, rice, and chlorella. And the beneficial bacteria are actually encased, so they get down to your gut where they do the most. But what I think is most unique about the Kenzen Vital Balance is the way it feeds the brain with the medium chain triglycerides. And there's so much research being done on that, especially as my generation start getting afraid of dementia or Alzheimer's. This is it. We've got to feed our brains. And it tastes great, mixes with everything. Then Clarity also is a whole bunch of herbs to keep the brain functioning. This is my sister's favorite one. She says she just thinks better when she's taking this. And again, all kinds of herbs from around the world. And again, 100% organic. Bergisterol is a wonderful red orange, organically grown in Italy, that supports the cardiovascular health. So it tends to normalize all those numbers that your doctor's watching. So, and it tastes good too. And then we have Omega Green plus DHA to keep the skin healthy and give you the omega-3s that you need for fats, because most processed foods have way too much omega-6. They use the cheap seed oils that give us too much omega-6. So this helps us get back into balance. And it's actually taken not from fish oil, but from plant sources. And we're actually killing fish because omega-3 is so popular right now. We're killing them just for their oil. So that's really sad. But this comes from flaxseed and cranberry and algae. So that's great. And then we have immunity, and Roger Drummer was instrumental in designing this years ago. And when I was working with a health food store as their educational consultant, people were coming in saying, "Oh, look at this, a mushroom immunity formula." And I'm like, Nikken's had the best one for 2 years already. So yeah, Nikken's always at the cutting edge. And the BDZ is to help the bones work as a living organ. It pulls in the minerals and lets them out to feed the other organs as needed. So this is a really wonderful complex made from plants. Again, also has K2, which really helps absorb the minerals into the bones. And then the calcium complex works very well with the BDZ, and naturally sourced from good milk, but it also has manganese and boron and vitamin D3, which are all involved in keeping the bones healthy. And if you have creaky knees, manganese are magical. I always throw that in. quite amazing. And then we have joint, which Nikken got proprietary uh, permission from the family of the doctor that discovered cetyl myristoyl complex. It really helps repair connective tissue. And then we also put in the glucosamine, the MSM, and boswellia that have been known for a long time to help with joints. And our newest product, the pink collagen complex, addresses that wonderful skin organ that is our first interplay with the environment, but it works everywhere because half of our protein in our bodies is collagen. And Nikken's made it so easy to get on this. So with that, I say start now, get on Nikken Auto Ship, save 10%, get whatever you need each month. You can change it anytime. So that's it. So I want to tell you that the joint made a huge difference for me. I'm 76. I'll be 77 in December. Very proud of it because I learned about Nikken in, well, it was 25 years ago. And I really believe that Nikken's made a huge difference. We both sleep better and wake up so refreshed. And I take everything Nikken makes. It keeps us young. I really believe it's about staying young, giving your body what it needs. So I'm going to stop the share here, and I highly recommend the digestion. I thought I had good digestion until I started taking that every morning, and now I can go out to dinner and it doesn't sit in my stomach. It gets digested even then. So everything works. It's an amazing, amazing program. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Randy. That's a lot of information and very, very good information for everybody. I've always said in many of my presentations that if we look at our public, just in general, about 70% of us are nutritionally, deprived or inadequate. And I
Compromise.
and I think yeah, and then I usually recommend a basic nutrition program, basically the Kenzen Vital Balance for protein, the J Greenzymes for vegetables, and the Super Siaga for fruits, because, again, 67% are just, you don't get enough vegetables. I mean, so I think that's a great place for starting. And that's to me a basic nutrition program. And then other items in there. I mean, I love the immunity. We got great, great nutritional products. They're whole food products. So you can, it's like eating food. So that's great. So with
Excellent.
that, we're going to stop the recording and